Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 30. My name is Andrew. Josh over here to my left, and Bagel / Will Davis to my right. Bagel, you've gone viral.
What? Me? We went viral. I mean, I guess I'm the face of the video.
You are the face of the video.
Yeah, pretty wild. What are we at? 1.4 million views on that last one.
So if you haven't seen it yet, and if you're new to the podcast because you just got introduced to us via that TikTok, my name is Andrew, Josh, Will. We are OMADA Golf, and we started this podcast, T-Box Talk. So welcome in if that's what drew you here. But yeah, we've been grinding the TikTok game, trying to get in that algorithm, and Will talking about the Longwood,
the Tallwood Greenskeeper Revenge tournament last 2 weekends ago. Yeah,
got 1.5 million plays, baby.
Unbelievable.
I know. Apparently, like no one's ever seen a tournament. I mean, like people have seen a tournament like that before, but like I feel like it's just not something that's been talked about clearly, or shown to the general public. But like I said. And I still hold tight to it. It was the best tournament ever.
Yeah. And like everybody in the comments was like, oh, we do this every year at our course. This is so cool. I'm glad someone else is doing it. Some people recognize the tournament. One of the person was playing in a tournament.
Yeah. I forget his name, Tom, I think. There was a guy that commented on the video that had played in the tournament the same day. So that's really cool. It's nice to know that like our video is getting served like locally and that, you know, a lot of people are recognizing the area and the golf course itself.
Yeah, and it's just really, really exciting because we do work hard on our content. We have a lot of faith in it, and we knew just as soon as we got into the rhythm, we'd get there. Baby.
I thought it was funny because last week there was a little bit of, Will was a little not sad, but he was just a little
frustrated
with
there you go,
YouTube and doing all the videos that we do for the content. And it just goes to show that, man, when you just stick it out and you just commit, no matter how long it takes, at some point in time, something will give, and it did. So that was cool.
So maybe this might be a time capsule to the moment things took off. We're hoping it is. So let's get on with the podcast, boys. Weekend roundup. I kind of laid low, went to the Patriots game. Josh went down south.
Oh, yeah. I went to freaking Alabama, man. I went to the down south as down south goes.
So were you in like a city, like a populated city?
I was outside of Huntsville, which is, if you know where Tuscaloosa is, that Tuscaloosa is a little bit further south.
That's where the college is.
Right, correct. And out like University of Alabama or whatever.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're not really cities. They're more like Providence type cities.
Yeah, very small.
They're very small. And you're basically 50 years back. That's like how it is. Like, no, actually, landmass wise, I'd say you're like 100 years back because of the way that they're living down there. At like technology, socially, you know what I mean? All that. I would say they're definitely a good 20 to 50 years behind everywhere else. It's pretty insane. But it was fun. It's all chains, Colucci. You'd fucking love it down there.
I'm a big chain restaurant guy. You went to a Topgolf.
Yeah, it was the worst service I've ever had, ever. We went there an hour and a half before we had to leave for our plane flight. And like with 20 minutes left to spare, they got us a booth.
Oh, wait, so you didn't have a reservation?
We didn't have a reservation, but like, dude.
How was that on them?
Half of Topgolf was fucking empty.
Oh.
So, honestly, a big thing about down there right now, I don't know, it's kind of happening everywhere, but dude, there's no service. Like, nobody wants to work in service.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like up here, there's a lot of restaurants with just like empty tables, and you're like, well, why can't we sit there? It's like, well, we don't have enough staff to staff those tables. So, yeah, that is kind of sad, but it kind of reminds me of that time we went to Topgolf. And I sunk it inside the frickin' cup thing, which was awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen that done before, so congratulations.
And have you ever played Top? Oh, have you ever played Top?
No, we talked about this in the last podcast. I've bet. I don't know if I had gone to is there a Topgolf in New York City?
There's one in New Jersey.
Is it inside or outside?
No, they're all the same. Every Topgolf is identical.
There's a driving range at Chelsea Piers. I've been to that. And at the time, which was like 10 years ago, I thought it was Topgolf.
They might have converted it to
maybe.
Topgolf.
But no, otherwise, no, I haven't been to Topgolf.
Damn, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's a fun time. The experience at Topgolf is almost as good as the golf itself. I mean, the best part is that you don't, and honestly, to this podcast, Topgolf does not require you to be good. You know what? You know a perfect example? we have a video of Colucci getting a hole-in-one, right?
It's
right
what
there
I
and there.
just, it was literally my first ever swing at Topgolf.
Yeah.
And it went not inside like the center target. It went inside the pipe of the center target.
Yeah.
And
Just jarred it, absolute jar.
Yeah, it was insane.
Thankfully, we filmed it, so we've got to look back on. But yeah, if you're wondering, no, that was not an indication of how good he is as a scramble partner.
Hey.
Slander.
Chill. It was literally one of the highlights of my life. It was so sick. But Topgolf, I enjoy Topgolf. I think we said a couple episodes ago, but there is one coming to Rhode Island. They're opening another one in Boston, like right outside of Boston.
Oh, that's unreal.
It's going to be in Canton, Massachusetts, I believe.
And then the one in Cranston.
Yeah. Yep. Cranston, Rhode Island.
Is it Cranston or Johnson?
Cranston.
Oh, it's Cranston. Okay.
Yep.
Cranston.
Yep.
I don't know what they're going to do with the snow, but not my problem. It's their problem. Right?
You know what was great about that swing was it was the worst swing ever.
Terrible. I chunked it.
You chunked it like 2 feet over like the lip of Topgolf, and then it just like bounced in.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was a great moment. Will, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was a pretty chill weekend. I returned to a place that Josh and I had sworn off after a bad clientele interaction about a year ago.
You're not talking about Appanog, are you?
I wasn't going to say the name, but I returned there for lunch on Saturday after a year hiatus and I finally swallowed my stubborn pride and went back, and it was good. It was good. So I have a lot of friends that like that place, so like I'm not going to be the odd jaded one out. That's like, no, I'm not going there. When like the entire group, but I've lost that argument. So.
Did you see our girl there?
Did not see our girl there. No, we sat outside. It was really busy. Like there was a line to get in the building.
Yeah.
We showed up like 15 minutes before they opened, and there was a line to get in the building.
Well, it was like 75 degrees in November over the weekend. You don't get better than that.
No, it was beautiful. It was good. It was nice. We sat outside, had a nice lunch, had a couple of beers. And then Sunday played Foster Country Club with my dad. Gorgeous weather, great day. We had an early tea time, so it was nice. We actually played in 3.5 hours, which was awesome. So I've had like 2 back-to-back rounds now that have been under 4 hours. So we finished early. We grabbed some lunch there. The food's always great at Tavern 19, and that was pretty much the weekend. Other than that, it was pretty low key.
Yeah, I went to my third Patriots game of the season already. Pats beat the Colts. It was one of those games where I usually go with my friends and make it a whole big thing.
Sorry about that.
I usually go with my friends and like we have a whole big day out of it.
On this.
I know. The video's gone viral. Just let it play
why don't
out.
you real quick? You didn't even explain to anybody what's happening.
So the
right
reason
now.
Josh is just constantly refreshing his Instagram is that SportsCenter, ESPN SportsCenter, reached out to us to use our podcast clip that's going viral on their Instagram page, and we exploded. It's really exciting stuff. They have 33 million followers, so that's huge for us. And they said they were going to post it. They posted it, and like we were like, yo, it's up. And then 30 seconds later, they took it down after it got like 1,000 likes right off the
With
rip.
no explanation.
Yeah, they
with
just
no
took it
explanation.
We even reached out to them. We're like, hey, is there something about the video that maybe we can edit, or if we can help you in any way? Like Colucci said, it's a big deal for us. And I think it was a little bit of like a blue ball where it was like they took it up.
Yeah, it's a lot like a blue ball. Dude. My nuts are fucking blue as all can be. Call me Blue Angels over here, dude.
Blue ball Macari over here.
Have you ever seen the Blue Angels perform live?
Of course, I love them.
It's the coolest day of my life.
Well, regardless. That and Topgolf chipping. Blue Angels, Topgolf chipping.
I mean, dude, it's incredible.
Colucci loves
You
planes.
went with me to Blue Angels.
No, I went with Alex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, that's why Josh is refreshing his phone.
Yeah, and I
every 15
accidentally got
seconds.
some I don't know why I got to turn my volume off, but it's bullshit, dude. They got us all pumped up, and then Oscar over at SportsCenter just decided to rip us down and rip our hearts out. I've never seen that done before, ever. I've never seen somebody take a post down like that. That they reached out to us, which just makes it worse.
I'm being optimistic to the fact that like if they ghosted us, they left us unread when we had reached out and asked why. So I feel like if you're at least not going to repost it again, just give us an explanation why. So
I agree.
Like
I
closure,
agree
like
a closure,
so that we can like not sit here and refresh our phones every 15 seconds.
Closure.
It's just I told so many people that we were going to be on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
So did I. It's like, what the fuck?
This is bad.
And I'm a man of integrity. I put my integrity on the line.
I'll tell you what. Mark my words. If it doesn't get on SportsCenter, then I'm gonna reach out. I'm sending that TikTok to every major sporting account I can find, including golf, including sports, and we're gonna get it somewhere else that's exciting because I still got the double B's right now, and I need some relief here.
Swollen under the table right now. The table's pushing up over here.
The table is fucking starting to float.
Anyways, I went to my third Patriots game of the season. It was awesome. I got to bring the family this time instead of going with my friends. So my older brother, younger brother, they don't really get to go to many games. So I was able to bring them and brought my cousin along, and it was just fantastic. But I did something else over the weekend that I'm sure Josh is going to get extremely upset about. I started rewatching The Walking Dead. I went back to season 1, and I watched the entire first 2 seasons in one sitting instead of watching The Lord of the Rings Ring of Power that Josh has been begging me to watch.
I watched Game of Thrones. I'm starting to watch that over again. You want to rip into me, too?
He's upset. I knew this was going to upset him.
It's not even like I'm not like livid at you because I know who you are at this point.
But the series finale of The Walking Dead's in 2 weeks. I have to prepare. I'm going to watch the whole show leading up to it.
Interestingly enough, I hate that you're not watching the live content because there's eons of it. Like, if you can't find something to watch in modern day right now, you're lost.
Yeah.
But I will say on that note, the original episodes of Walking Dead are some of the best on television.
So this is why the only reason I brought it up is I get so upset because I'm concurrently watching the final episodes that are airing right now and the original episodes. I don't know where the show fell off. It's 2 completely different shows.
Yeah, it's so different. They just didn't have anywhere to go with it.
Yeah, it's wild. There's only so much you can do. But anyways, that was my weekend, and I think we can kind of transition into some golf stuff here. The match is returning. It is going to be Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy versus Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. It's going to be under the lights, they say.
Yep.
Only a 12-round expedition down in Florida. Guys, they're not listening to us. We have said it several times on this podcast.
No more pro golfers.
No more pro golfers in the match. I think the funny part of the match is like getting comedians in there.
But don't you see it? That's good for us. We don't want them to do that.
We want to do it ourselves.
We need to do that ourselves. So a year from now, you know what I mean? If we had some more products and whatnot, and we were just a little bit bigger in size, a little bit more volume, dude, that's like all day long. Let them throw the pros out there. When we come into the game, we'll start doing it with some funny ass people, you know?
I will say I'm slightly more excited for this one than the previous one.
Yeah, I mean, this one should be good, but I mean, like...
You said it was who is it?
It's
Tiger?
Tiger, Justin.
Tiger and Rory versus Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas.
I don't even understand, like, what the appeal is. I it's just watching, like, when you do the tournament style, it's who's going to, on that final day, be, you know what I mean, rise to the top. Who's going to hit that crazy shot that puts them in contention, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to picture 2v2 golf, especially when... They can't really swear. They're not authentically betting on the course.
Yeah, it's going to be on.
It's
going to be on cable. It's not going to be like
Phil Mickelson, by the way, who came out and said and has apologized for his betting and all that in the past, and been $10 million or $20 million, whatever he spent on his gambling.
I think it was like $40 million.
Whatever
amount. A lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Like when he went out and did it, he wasn't even. Well, he didn't play actually, did he?
He played against Tiger in the original match.
Oh, yeah, the original match. Dude, they weren't doing bets. They weren't doing real bets. I mean,
they were doing like charity bets. But
it was bullshit. I want to see them authentic, and that's the problem is that's what golf right now is prohibiting, that I think the LIV Tour might actually lift up a bit, is the fact that people just are not being themselves. They can't be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but the thing is like, I would watch it if it was like get Bill Burr out there and Sebastian Maniscalco, because I know those two guys both are really big golfers.
Is that right?
Yeah, like it would be so fucking funny, and they're not listening to us, boys. Will, thoughts?
Larry David and Simon Rex. Yes. I'm still holding strong on that
Larry,
one. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Will. You know what? In a little bit at some point, we're gonna fucking DM Larry. Although I don't even know if he's on Instagram.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He probably has somebody like who runs his account that could maybe pass us through.
He's like 80 years. He's probably in his 70s or 80s, but I don't think he's on Instagram every day. Yeah.
I mean, on Larry on Curb Your Enthusiasm, he's still golfing out there though.
Yeah. golf is probably one of the things he does. Like,
he lives for it. It's like built into the show. It's like half the show is him on a golf course doing shit.
Anybody else got anything else for golf?
Well, I mean, we've since we talked about the Greenskeeper Revenge Tournament at Tallwood being such a big hit, we actually got invited back in December 3rd, to go play the Iceberg Open at Tallwood. So they're throwing another tournament. It should be a good time. I'm not quite sure about the details, but if you're in the Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York area, it's in central Connecticut, and I'm sure it's going to be a great time. It's going to be cold, I'm assuming, unless we get like another fucking weird 70-degree week. But I don't know. I'm excited.
I almost prefer it to be cold. It's got to be even playing field, because like I could be useful if it's cold because everybody else will be bad, you know? So like I could like get out there and help more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
These fuckers.
I bit my tongue.
That's a TikTok right there.
That's true.
That's a TikTok. You didn't see my face there, but Kaluch, you got to figure out a new strategy, I think. I do have a topic though that I want to bring up. You know, with that video going viral, we sat down, we talked about why. What was the big lure there for people to be excited? And I think we saw in the comment section a lot, and we've been getting some feedback as well, that, you know, the thing about golf is this modern era is the Top Golf Live Tour kind of golf's on its upside down right now. And it's just such an exciting time. And I know we're not in the golf season, but the reality is for us, you know, we're just super excited about it. And Will, you mentioned that the pro at the country club, Tallwood, is Tallwood?
Yeah.
He reached out to us and he said that he would be willing to let us or support us in doing some kind of OMADA T-Box Talk sponsored event.
Yep.
And did he give any details, or do you guys?
No, I mean, it's food for thought. It's something that would have to be discussed, obviously, in a lot more detail. I've never
planned.
Yeah, and planned. I've never done anything like that. So, but I mean, I think he was just so happy with the fact that like Tallwood's getting a little bit of exposure, because it really is a really great course, and it's beautiful. Like, I would say it's not on par with maybe Kirkbrae, but it's like one little step below.
That's
and
great.
So they do a really awesome job over there. And like I said, it's my home course, so I'm a little bit biased. You know, I grew up playing golf there, but I really think it's well needed exposure, and it's well deserved exposure at the same time. So I think Zach's all for it, and he definitely wants us to come back. You know, we're welcome at the club anytime.
Yeah. So I think for us, we were getting excited because. And we have some ideas, some alternate ideas.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I know what you want to do right now, and I want to talk about it all.
But we can't, right?
We can't.
Yeah.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Super Dave, my father, who pretty much turned me on to this Greenkeepers Revenge Tournament, which gave us the outcome of hitting a little bit of virality and making these connections within the golf industry, may it be local or not. So, and also a big props to Super Dave for reminding me to take my phone out and shoot content while I was there. So
yeah.
big appreciation for you there.
And you want to know something funny? When SportsCenter posted the video, I put it on my personal story and I shouted out your dad. And
you did?
I was like massive massive appreciation to @Badger Dave,
Honey Badger Dave,
for getting Will to take his phone out and film and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was gonna give him his shout out. I was gonna DM him and of my appreciation. But
let's hope you get another opportunity for that.
Well, it is a tough part about trying to be a content creator on a golf course. Is like, as much as you want to just kind of play and just have fun, or if you're playing bad and you're frustrated and you're trying to go fast, sometimes you don't want to take the phone out and film. You don't want to be the guy holding the camera to film your friend playing golf. But you do it, and sometimes things like this happen where you get a viral video and it's really weird. Exciting.
Yeah, and you never think it's going to happen, but it just does. We've posted thousands of videos over some time now, and we've gotten, I would say, viral videos, but nothing over 1 million views. That was us.
No.
Yeah. So I think it's just such an odd phenomenon, dude. These TikToks and these algorithms, and Will battles with them on a day-to-day basis.
Literally throwing virtual hands every day.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Fuck.
As you can tell, we're very excited. You know, it's been
hard to do other shit, dude.
Yeah,
it's been hard to like stay. Like we have shit to do and that I'm not doing because
we have fucking 2 containers landing like this month.
Yeah, we just spent like $180,000 on inventory that's going to be coming in, and we're talking about Sports Center posting the fucking video.
All right, let's move on from golf, but yeah, all exciting stuff. Some football stuff, really quick. Patriots go over 500. Ugly game. I was there. Disgusting. Tom Brady back in the winning column pulls a win out of his ass. Josh, your man.
Don't
Josh.
even say that word right now.
So
dude.
I was kind of hoping that we would know what was going on before we recorded, but Josh Allen has been the hero of Josh's fantasy team, and like even though the Bills are a rival of the Patriots, the Patriots aren't the Patriots anymore. So I kind of do have a soft spot for Buffalo, but Josh Allen might have torn a ligament in his elbow. Which
I gotta be honest, Colucci, just for the record, I know that they're saying like, oh, Josh Allen's number 1 and he's been amazing. He has been a lock for some points, but like if you go and look, he's actually not doing that good.
No, he had a terrible game against the Jets.
I mean, 24 points, closer to 25, 17.5, 26.3. I mean, in the beginning of the season, he was doing better, but like he hasn't even had a 40-point game or like even 35 plus. I mean, he's had 135 pop, and then the rest is like 29 or lower.
Yeah. What's fascinating is, so they're saying that it's a ligament in his right throwing elbow, but they know the play that it got bent back on. The next play, he threw the ball the farthest a ball has been thrown in the air in the last 8 seasons in the NFL. He threw it 69 yards in the air, which is insane. So you got.
I can't even imagine.
So you got to wonder either he's not that hurt because he was able to do that, or he was hurt and throwing the ball 69 yards just fucked him up even more.
Was that the last play?
Yes, it was a 4th.
So he stopped playing after that throw?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, we'll probably know more information about Josh Allen. All the best to him. That's a shitty injury. He's such a great player to watch. There's Joe Mixon, 5 touchdowns, 54 fantasy points. That's insane. Yeah, he was just like, I was at the game. I was at the Patriots. It's tough going to a live football game because you don't get to really see what's going on around the NFL. But I egged again. So if you've been following the podcast, if you scored 0.0 points in our fantasy league, you have to smash an egg over yourself, take a video of it and send it in. Josh sent probably the best egg video of the year.
I was really hoping we were getting to this in the conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was none of it mattered. I was coming to this. Josh, everybody's, been trying to get creative with their eggs. Josh, he went all in on the egg, and you got to appreciate that. So it's really funny.
And for the sake, if this gets cut up into something, right? Our fantasy team, if your player gets 0 points, you have to smash an egg on your head for each 0 point. I got 2 in 1 week, so I did the double egg. And I also was late on my egg, so I went above and beyond. I fucking smushed it into my face. I did a little egg rub. I did a little protein egg rub.
A little nice collagen rub.
I'm honestly like, I don't know. I feel like I fall into the category of Gen Z entrepreneurs, so like I don't need to be Mr. in the suit. I think we should post the egg video 100%.
I was hoping we could post the egg video.
I think the egg video is like maybe a must at this point. Maybe it puts me on the map, dude. Give me a little bit.
It is fucking hilarious. The other guys in the league get very upset when you're late with your egg video, so you had to get it out. That's going to wrap up the football talk for this week. We're going to transition to some what are we watching. Will texted me over the weekend because he was so mad about a movie that he watched.
It was a 10 p.m. text, too.
Yeah, he was. Well, usually Bagel's in bed early, so I was a little surprised to get a text. I was surprised to get a text from Bagel this early.
I was just so infuriated that... So the movie I watched was called Vivarium.
Yep.
And I'm not sure... I know, Colucci, you haven't seen it. Josh, you probably haven't seen it either.
No.
Doesn't ring a bell? No.
Jesse Eisenberg, right?
Jesse Eisenberg, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't remember Breaking Bad? Oh, no, fuck. What am I saying? I was like, Jesse Pinkman in my head was there. I don't know why.
Yeah, Eisenberg. So it's my girlfriend's been wanting to watch it for a few weeks now, but like I kind of stopped watching horror movies before bed, like right before bed, because I usually have nightmares from it.
Yep.
You know, I'm a big man. I'm not trying to like be tough or anything. I get nightmares too. But so I watched this movie, and it's got to be. And you know what? I'll leave it at this is that the movie was so frustrating that I didn't want to stop watching it. So like I'm infuriated the entire time, and Marissa's asking me, "Do you want to watch something different? Do you want to turn this off?" And I'm like, "No, I need to watch this movie to the end and find out what happens." And it's all bullshit. I fucking hate this movie. I watched the entire thing, and I'm not giving any of it away because I want you to watch it and be just as frustrated as me. But I have never wanted.
Why do we have to go down together?
I have never more wanted to go outside in my backyard, get a rock, and throw it through my fucking TV.
Oh my!
Because
God,
this movie drove me up a wall, and that's how the 10 p.m. text started. Because I was like, oh, I'll just talk to Klucha on Monday. And I was like, no, this deserves a text message right now because I need to save him from watching it this weekend before I can talk about it.
It's funny because it was on my list of movies to watch. So
it's just like basically like these two people like get trapped in a fucking dystopian suburban neighborhood that's like run by aliens. You don't really know. Like there's no really good explanation or ending to the movie.
Scary?
No, it was just infuriating. Like, that's the only way I can explain this movie. I want to pull my hair out, jump out the window, get a rock, smash my TV.
But here's my thing. Like, I would say the same thing to you. I would say to Colucci is, like, there's a vast landscape of content out there. Why would you ever, like, commit yourself?
This is a new movie, though.
I know, but if you're hating it as much as he is.
It's frustration. And it's frustration to, like, want to know, like, because the whole thing is, like, there's, like, no clarity in the entire movie as to, like, why they're stuck there, like, who's keeping them there.
Like an ongoing cliffhanger.
Like, where are these people, or aliens coming from? Like, and the whole movie, like, happens within this one house in this dystopian suburban neighborhood. And they have to, and like the whole premise of the movie is that they have to raise this kid until he's of age or 18 or something like that. And this kid's obviously not like a normal kid. And like the entire movie, the kid is screaming at the top of his lungs.
Oh, no, I'm out on that.
Yeah, it's like,
I hate that.
I mean, we deal with enough screaming here, so I didn't need that at home.
So you basically were watching like a 2-hour extended cut TikTok.
Yeah, it was just like the same thing over and over again, and that's why I say I give credit to like the producers and shit, because like they created a movie that pissed me off, but at the same time I wanted to watch it until the end.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of a
credit
weird
to making a shitty movie that really drags people in for hours at a time.
Yeah, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah.
I tried watching, besides just binging The Walking Dead all over again. There's this new movie that everybody's been talking about. It's all over my TikTok. It's called The Terrifier. People allegedly are passing out in theaters, throwing up in theaters at the new one because there's 2 of them now. So I was like, you know what? I used to be able to watch horror movies, like really gruesome horror movies. I'll go give it a go. So I went and tried to watch the first Terrifier movie, and I didn't even make it 25 minutes in. It is that bad. It is that gruesome. I actually had
seriously?
I actually had to turn it off. Like I was like,
what's the name of it again?
Terrifier.
Terrifier 1, and then there's Terrifier 2. The cool facts about this movie: they made the first movie for only $30,000, and that was their budget, and it was like a big like cult success. The second movie, the one that people are passing out now in the theaters, it's in the theaters right now. They only made it for $250,000. It's already grossed over $8 million.
What's so crazy about it?
It's the most over the top, horrific, gory slasher movie like ever.
Who's the slasher?
The Terrifier.
The clown, right?
Yeah, Art the Clown.
That's what he is. He's a clown.
Yeah, but he's like really scary. I can show you a picture right now.
Something about horror movies. A lot of horror movies, I guess, have that title. I think it's because the nature of a horror movie is that it's so simple.
This is just a killing movie.
Right. It's like if you just can get basically good killing effects and you just film it in locations that are horrifying. I mean, it's kind of a simple, you just have to put together a story.
So the thing with this movie is I think it's the live reaction of Josh looking at Art the Clown.
Is he human?
Yes, he is human. He has like a mask. He's terrifying. And he's literally terrifying.
He actually doesn't look that scary to me.
He's kind of funny. Okay, so here's the thing about the movie is it's almost supposed to be comical. Even though it's a horror movie, it's supposed to be like comical.
So you just turned it off because it was just gross.
It was too much.
So it wasn't scary to you. It was just too gross.
It's too much. Yeah, I didn't want to watch.
Stop saying too. What is it? Gory or is it scary? Because there's a big difference for Colucci.
No, I don't think it was that scary.
Because if you said scary, I was gonna say that if Andrew's too scared of something, then I need to say I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, no, because I've watched just about every
horror
Andrew,
movie. Fun fact about Andrew, when he was like 7 years old, he begged his dad to take him and his little brother, who was like 4 years old, to go see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it was Joey's 7th birthday because the movie came out in July, and my little brother was
the
turning
Colucci
7.
family had a little birthday party celebration watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Did you get nightmares for your presents?
No, I used to be able to handle it, and it never bothered me until like later on.
He realized that he was a human in this world, and death is real.
Yeah, once I started to grow up, I started having horrific nightmares about the old movies I used to watch in my past.
Yeah.
It kind of fucked up, yeah, but it was hilarious. It was Joey's 7th birthday. We went to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Begins. My dad went up to the ticket booth with me, my little brother, and my older brother, and asked for the 4 tickets. And the lady looked at him like, "I'm gonna call Child Protective Services right now." Like it was, and we were the only 4 people in the theater. The movie sucked.
Really?
I've went back and watched it later on. It's a terrible movie.
I know that movie kind of has a cult following too.
All of them do. The original is one of the best horror movies ever made because it was like groundbreaking. It was made in the 70s. Like it changed the horror landscape forever. But then every time they remake the movie, it just gets worse and worse, and it's so bad. So that's what I'm watching. I'm not watching The Terrifier because it was too gory for me. I almost fainted. I like to watch my horror movies in the morning, so it was a tough wake up. Josh,
two movies good, 2 movies bad.
Let's hear it.
2 bad movies. The greatest beer ever. The greatest beer run ever.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
That was one of the. I couldn't even have an opportunity to not like it because it was so bad. I turned it off in the first like 10 minutes.
Okay, good, because that was also on my list of movies to watch, so I will cross that off.
And my sister works for the prop company that did the whole, like, see the beer can thing.
Yeah.
Like they designed that. They worked with PBR on getting. That was one of the worst everything. I'm so like acting, like visuals, dude.
Is it one of those movies that you were upset that you even gave it? Like,
yeah,
you were
because
like, fuck this.
I just couldn't believe they ever thought you have to be some kind of fucking moron to actually pass that. The accents were dude, I feel bad too because honestly, and God forbid Zac Efron ever heard me say any of this. I love you, Zach.
Yeah, he's great.
You're
the
man.
Great.
17 again. Fucking High School Musical. When I actually hate a High School Musical, but you're a stud in it. That's for sure. All great movies, but man. His accent in that movie did not believable and super annoying. Good movie. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Haven't seen it yet, but I'm very, very excited.
Yep.
Too.
Here's the thing about this movie. You better have a deep stomach.
Yeah. Because
it's puke worthy in a lot of ways. It's when you go into these movies, you definitely are like hyper aware that there's just gonna be so much death that you have to be prepared for that. It's almost you have to kind of like take it with a grain of salt because if you actually get empathetic and you start imagining it and feeling it, it's too heavy. You know what I mean? Because it's just like we're all animals here to die, basically. Yeah. But
very grim. Very grim.
It's actually the most grim war movie I've ever watched because there's no good ending.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth a watch. I would probably give it like an 8.2. Really good movie.
That's actually, I think, the exact IMDb rating. But
my dad watched it this morning. Said he loved it.
Yeah,
it's a good movie, but dude, I mean, it's also told from the German perspective, which is the only war movie I've ever seen done that did that. Yeah. And the reality is basically the moral of the movie is that, and it's what you would imagine actually, is that like in World War I, Germany gets into war, and they kept on pushing it, even after the armistice and everything that was happening. But the bottom line is that the people who are actually fighting the war want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But they have to, because if they don't go forward against the enemy, at least they have a chance of surviving against them. If they go back, they die. Yeah. Because they'll kill them if
for treason.
Yeah, it's like treason or abandonment, whatever. But good movie. Another bad movie. You guys see that it's like a new Harry Potter style movie. Had a big budget, the guy from The Matrix is in it. Not the main character from The Matrix, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You haven't seen this one?
No.
The School of Good and Evil.
Never heard of it.
It's on Netflix. It was brand new. It's like a Harry Potter-esque movie, different. It's kind of fantasy. Not very good at all, so don't watch it. You can watch it if you want to, but just wanted to say that. The last thing I'll say, I haven't seen this movie. Not the last thing I'll say. 47 Ronin just came out. The second one, that movie's fucking insane. I'm going to watch it. I knew the first one was ridiculous. And then lastly, Andor. Andor is probably right now maybe second to only Mandalorian and Boba Fett, or maybe even better than Boba Fett in quality and story.
Well, okay, so my opinion is the only 2 good episodes of Boba Fett were the Mandalorian episodes.
That's crazy.
I didn't think that bit was that good of a show. I didn't love the Boba Fett.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, it was good, but the best episodes were the Mandalorian episodes.
Well, he's in almost all of them.
He's in the last 2.
Okay, you're telling me you didn't like when he and the Tusken
the
Raiders
first
took
episode,
on the worm?
Yeah, so the first episode, then there's a couple fillers that are boring, and then it's freaking Mandalorian.
Okay, fine, but
Andor
is the start.
I keep hearing is amazing.
It's the start. First off, Andor is the only Star Wars content ever that is not very PG.
Yeah, there's the first ever swear word in it.
Brothels, there's swears, there's actual blood in the murder. I'm pretty sure that when people are killed, there's assassinations visually, and also like, dude, holy shit, man. They actually go into... Here's the thing. You always hear about the rebellion and how bad the Empire is, but notice we've never really seen that they're that bad. And when they do bad, they do on such a large scale, you can't tell. Like, they'll blow a planet up, but you never see the people on the planet suffering. It's just like a quick thing.
It's kind of just one of those things. You're like, oh, 1 million people just died. But
exactly.
Whatever.
You can't even feel bad about it because it's just a statistic at that point. But it's the start of the rebellion and the motivation for the rebellion to even exist. So it's like covering the brutality of the Empire.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's wild.
Is it? I wonder if it's based off any canon or they're just kind of writing it as they're doing it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Whenever there's source material involved, kind of like The Walking Dead, it's always wild how they stay with it, they go against it,
Yeah.
But very, very cool stuff. I am going to watch Andor. I think I'm more excited for Andor than Lord of the Rings, but we'll see. I'll watch both of them. All right, that's going to wrap up What Are We Watching Today? And we're going to go into a new segment. We're going to be doing The Tech Corner. Me, Josh, and Will all love to talk about cool technology things. So let's get it going. I'll start it off. New Call of Duty came out, and it's kind of like a funny thing here. The new Call of Duty came out. All my friends are playing it. Me and Josh have been playing it pretty much every night, having an absolute blast. But something that I totally forgot about that I just haven't done in a while is pop into the game chat for a little bit to check out the shit talking going on. And let me tell you something. Game chat is back. It is so vile in there and so horrific, but it's so funny every time. It's like you get out of a round of search and destroy and you just hear the most heinous, horrible stuff getting said at each other. And everybody just like swallowing their microphones trying to get their shit talking out. And it is so, so, so funny. But another thing with this Call of Duty game that Josh was really upset about last night that he found out is the default settings in the game were all off. And Josh didn't realize that there was an intentional delay on his shooting in the game because his dead zone on his right trigger was set to a bad setting. And so Josh was very upset about this last night when he found out that all he had to do the whole time to get rid of the delay in shooting was fix the dead zone. Josh, take it away.
I mean, it was just bizarre, dude. Every time I would go to pull the trigger, it would give me basically like a quarter of a second delay to actually start firing. So people were just killing me nonstop. Yeah. I've had games where I was getting like 1 to 5 kills in a 25-minute game, and I couldn't believe it. He was
screaming. He was
like, we started to get to the point where
0.2 KD.
Yeah, it got violent, dude, and I just couldn't believe it. And then someone's like, my buddy Ross is like, "Oh yeah, you got to change this setting," and I'm like, I do it, and I'm like, oh my god, I can actually play the game. Like, it was a difference maker, and I don't think a lot of people are going to know that going into it. So
Josh was literally starting to question everything about his video game skills. He was like, "Am I just bad at video games now? Like, I'm
a good gamer.
He is.
I can pick up almost any game and be good at it within a little bit. But no, that game was defeating me.
Yeah, but he's back. He changed the settings, so very cool. New Call of Duty. That's kind of like my tech thing of the day. Just really excited about the game. Will, take it away.
Okay, cool. So this isn't something that I would personally use because I literally can't. But the Google Pixel Buds just came out. So they're like Google's version of the Apple's AirPods. But the cool thing about these is that they can translate 40 languages in live time.
Shut up.
Yeah, and I literally got an ad for these the minute I got back from Mexico, and I was like, well, I don't have it. They're only compatible with Android phones. Obviously, if I don't have an Android phone, you guys don't. But yeah, so it's Android only, but it goes through the Google Translate app on your phone. So you can literally, if you want to talk to someone, you can use conversation mode. And when you want to follow along and understand what someone's being said, you can use transcribe mode. So it'll literally just write down everything on your phone as they're speaking it. And it's going in through the earbud, and then it's translating out on your phone. So I think for someone who travels, like if you were to travel internationally, this is a really fucking cool thing. I mean, I know it's Android only, and maybe this is something that Apple will adopt.
I have to see this in action. I don't know if I buy it.
You don't buy it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, a phone call maybe, but like, the thing about Google.
Well, it's like the headphones are just like the AirPods have like room mode. You know what I mean? Like you can leave your AirPods in another room and turn on room mode, and it'll like play through your phone, or like you can listen to like.
Wait, you can do that?
Yeah.
It's kind of sketch.
Yeah, I don't even have AirPods. I know that. But yeah, so apparently these Pixel Buds can translate 40 languages in real time.
The thing is, if that is true, that's revolutionary.
That's insane.
Like when I do communications with Chinese manufacturers or, overseas manufacturers, if I could use that, it would change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. That is really cool. It's funny you should say the Google Translate thing. I literally, I was in Boston a couple weekends ago, late night, ordered DoorDash like 2:30 in the morning. Don't know why I keep doing this to myself. But the guy who was trying to deliver the food didn't speak a lick of English. And I know brief Spanish, so I was kind of trying to get him to where I was, but it didn't work. And then when he came, the food was the completely wrong order. And I was trying to tell him that, but he couldn't really understand it.
Yeah.
So then he was the one who
busted out Google Translate.
He took out his phone, went on Google Translate, and said it, and then showed me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And
then I did the same back to him, and that was it. And I was like, just don't worry about it. I was trying to tell him, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But and then he did the Google Translate thing. I thought that was so cool.
Did that a lot down in Mexico. But like I said, came back, saw this ad, and I was like, well, that's pretty fucking cool. I've never seen something like that before.
Do you think there could be a voice inside your head that's like...
I'm basically assuming that like it hears the people talking through an outside mic, and then it transcribes it into your ears as you're speaking.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
But it also records everything to your phone through the Google Translate app. So, like, even if it didn't have that live feature, you could still just look down at your phone and see what they're saying to you. Because obviously the earbuds are listening.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is, like Josh said, revolutionary. Josh, you got anything?
Yeah, so mine's a little bit more like not tech. It's more physical, something to use. We do have our golf spin on this podcast, and obviously, if anybody knows me through either our content or this or wherever, I've had some back problems from golf. So there's this tool that exists out there, and you can't buy the Amazon version. You have to buy the one direct from the original manufacturer because the Amazon version, the one just doesn't work right. But because I just got another one to try to use it. But it's this little suction cup, and you suction it to the wall. You know what I'm talking about, Andrew.
Yeah.
Both of you probably do.
Yeah.
But just for anybody listening, it's this little suction cup, and you basically suction it to the wall, and it's this ball mount, this ball bearing. It's like this little marble kind of ball that sits in like a little bit of a...
It's like like if you think about a roller pen, like a ball with
yes.
it's just a big scale version of that essentially.
Pretty much. And you doesn't need to be any kind of wall, it doesn't harm the wall, but you put it up on the wall and man, you can like hit the knots in your back without anybody having to do it for you. And it is like, it's a game changer. It's probably better than all the Theraguns out there in the world. Like it's just so good, dude. So
yeah, that's a cool thing. I've seen you use it all the time. It is. I've used it too.
Yeah,
it's very useful.
Yep.
It is very useful. I wonder if they could ever expand on that and make it like maybe you did it. What if they made it that it was heated or cooled or something?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Andrew. Actually, I don't think cooled, but I think heated would work really well.
Yeah, and another like physical tech thing that it keeps getting talked about for some reason. I keep getting drawn into these conversations of a sous vide, and you were trying to explain to me what a sous vide is last night.
Yeah.
So, would you ever buy? Do you have a sous vide?
No, I don't. You don't even need to have a sous vide technically. I mean, all it is when you sous vide something, it's you can cook the meat before or after. Like, I'm sorry, you can sear the meat before or after so that it actually comes out functional. But it's sort of like a crock pot mentality without doing it in the crock. I mean, you're basically just putting it in a bag, an airtight bag. It doesn't even actually have to be airtight, but you're just putting it in some water and it slow cooks the meat at a very low temperature. So like, you know, way less. I think it's like 100 to 150 degrees or something like that. Takes it can take like anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple hours, depending how tender you want to go or what you're willing to put into it. And then you got to sear it after to make it taste not like shit, because it's just like it's like literally sweating the meat. That's what the art of sous vide is.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I keep hearing my friends talk about buying sous vides.
Well, if you want to ask that, then I'll say just a little second tidbit is that I just got my plastic bag sealer. So now you put the whatever you want into a bag, you put it in the little vacuum seal, and literally within 1 second, it sucks the air out of the bag.
Oh,
so
vacuum sealer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great for like marinating stuff. It's great for if you think about what you buy at the store, it's actually better than what you buy at the store, because when you buy it at the store, it's not airtight bags.
No, it's not.
So if you cook something and then you put it in the bag and then you vacuum seal it, and then it does this little melt job across the top, so it's completely airtight and sealed. You could cook 100 chicken breasts and have 2 years of, you know, whatever, if you want to just heat something out from the freezer, just like you would on one of the pre-made things.
That's pretty cool.
It is. You can do vegetables. You can do all kinds of stuff.
And I know you meal prep a lot, so that's probably huge for you.
I actually bought it originally to send. I have this buddy out in Florida, Kobe. He wanted French vanilla muffins from our farm, and I didn't have a means of getting it to him without it going bad, so I bought the sealer.
Oh, look at Kobe supporting the farm, dude. We'll move on out of the tech corner. That was pretty fun. We're going to bring back the podium. If you've been listening since the beginning of the podcast, we did this thing called the podium. Podium, first place, second place, third place. Pretty simple stuff. We are going to do the podium of bad habits. This could go anywhere. Who wants to go first? And then we're going to go like a rotation. So first, second, third.
Pointing at me?
Yeah, Will first.
Okay. All right. I tried to pick some that would not make me feel too bad about myself. So here it goes. My first one is, and this has been a bad habit since like as far back as I can remember, but I have a tendency at weird hours of the day and night to just go over to the fridge, stand there and eat lunch meat. The fridge wide open. And this all started because when growing up, I ate a lot of bologna. My mom would buy a lot of bologna, and I would just sit there in front of the fridge and just roll up little bologna sticks and just eat like a whole half pound of bologna in one standing. So I wasn't sitting.
I do the same thing with cheese, if we're being honest.
Cheese, ham, turkey, any lunch meat, like if it's in the fridge, like it's gonna be gone very quickly.
If there's a shredded bag of mozzarella in the fridge, I'll go down there sometimes and just start eating handfuls of it. It's disgusting.
That's another one.
It's horrible, man.
That is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of. I think bologna in general is just horrifying.
I fucking love bologna.
Yeah, I think it's the most disgusting meat ever made. That and Spam. I think Spam is so gross.
I don't know what Spam is.
It's like a ham. It's like taking a bunch of fucking pork and grounding it up and building a brick and then putting it in a tin can with preservatives.
I like Spam too.
Oh my god, dude. It's got slime
all
over it. Yeah, slime.
I grew up like young parents grinding it out and feeding their family what they could. So
then go rice and beans.
Respect to my parents.
Rice and beans is very cheap. You don't need to do Spam. Spam is disgusting.
I love Spam. I lived on Spam in Peru. So.
Well, maybe out there when all you're eating is fucking fish that you catch from the fucking local river. Yeah,
piranha. I guess.
I'll go next with my first one, and this is a personal one for me. It's winter in New England. It's chapped lip seasons, and I have a horrific habit of biting my own lips.
Oh, I fucking feel you there, Cliff.
I do that too, yeah.
Holy biting / licking my lips. It is awful what I put myself through in the winter. It'll come down to the point where I'm trying to eat a sandwich and my lip will just split because I've fucked it up so much, and it is horrible.
You got to invest in some chapstick and make that a habit.
It doesn't work.
It does work.
No, chapstick doesn't work. Aquaphor works. That's the only thing that has ever helped my dry lips.
Well, I always keep 2 tubes on me every day. My everyday carry is chapstick, and then I have like the Aquaphor, like
the actual
extreme healing stuff.
Yeah. The extreme healing stuff in the wintertime I live on. But you know, that's what you get when you live in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
New England.
Biting and licking my lips. Because when you lick your lips, it makes it more dry because the saliva dries. It's a whole thing. I've been doing it my whole life. It's horrendous. I hate myself for it, but I'm trying to be better. Josh, your first one.
I mean, I think the first one is both a weakness and a strength in some ways, and Andrew will get this very quickly. But over the course of my life, I have, in order for me to feel the pressure to get something done, actually, maybe OMADA might be the first thing where I really haven't done this much because there's like it's all based on my own interests and everything is aligned. But in the rest of my life, procrastinator king.
Yeah,
I mean, all I do is procrastinate.
Holy shit! I went to college with Josh for 4 years. We lived in the same house for 4 years. Watching this kid procrastinate was honestly, it was like a sport. It was magical.
To be fair, like the things I procrastinate on are the things I don't like to do.
Yeah.
And it's not like day-to-day functional stuff. Like, for instance, if I cook a meal, I clean it immediately after. And I'm not difficult to live with. I do a lot of cleaning. Like it's not like I'm like the stuff I procrastinate.
It's not like you're lazy.
Yeah. It's not a laziness.
Laziness and procrastination, I think, are two completely different.
Of course, they're
things.
different.
Yeah.
One is doing something, just doing it a little bit later than you're asked to do it. But like right now, if my mom asked me to take the trash out.
Ooh. That's Josh's least favorite chore. It's
taking the trash out.
I would do dishes. I'll do clothing. I'll mop, sweep. Don't you dare ask me to take the trash out.
I don't know why he hates it so much. It's
crazy.
I have
a 300-foot walk to the end of the driveway, and my trash cans 9 times out of 10 have fucking maggots filled in them, and they just smell like shit.
When I lived in my old apartment building, the trash compactor was on the complete opposite side of the complex. I literally put my trash bags in the car and drive them there.
Which is So I mean, if anybody out there feels me, you're listening to this, you're not alone.
Procrastination nation, baby.
Yep,
it is.
I've won a lot on being a procrastinator.
100%.
You have too. Andrew's out here. Andrew's a fucking procrastinator as well.
I literally used to. I used to have papers due at like 8 a.m. in college, like 5-page papers. I wouldn't start them till like 1 a.m.
But see, is that not the most efficient way to do something like that?
No, it is not. But in my head, it is.
No, see, it is because people spend a lot of time and they try to get it perfect and whatnot. But you and I, when we did those reports, I once had a 22-page paper due the next day that I didn't do. And in one night, I wrote a 22-page fucking paper.
I did the same thing with the 12er. I wrote the whole thing in one night, and it was horrible.
Oh my
God,
dude, it was pure genius. And I gave it one night. I didn't spend a whole semester doing it, and I passed. Here I am. I made it. We all made it, dude. We did it without fucking calculus. I learned calculus, actually. It's funny.
Who helped you?
Colucci and I together learned.
No. I knew it because I took the class the previous semester.
Oh, right. So you taught me. Yeah, I learned calculus with Colucci's help in about 12 hours.
To take his final. Oh, my God.
To take my final. And I passed the course off of that final. Like, I actually walked out of there being like, wait, I kind of understand it now after 12 hours of just hammering it.
It was hilarious.
Fuck math.
Will, back to you.
I've got a few here. All right. This one I'm going to slightly blame on ADHD. But I have a really bad habit of opening text messages and then not replying to them for days.
Me too.
I can't do that.
I literally will open a text message and then I'll sit there and it's bad because sometimes in the back of my head I know that I did not respond to that text message.
Right.
But now a day, 24 hours has already passed. So does this person already think less of me because I didn't respond immediately? But I think that also comes down to the state of society where everything needs to be immediate.
Yeah.
And if everyone just expects you to reply or call them back instantly, there's no thought process going on in that person's head that maybe they're doing something. Or maybe they're busy. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But, I have a really bad habit of that and just not picking up FaceTime calls.
My bad habit kind of is the other way with that. It's not my pick. This is not my pick. But relation to yours, one of my bad habits is I have to respond right away. I can't sit there and look at that and be like, I can't respond. I have to.
Unless it's time sensitive. No, not happening.
It's weird.
Yeah,
but
I actually feel you on that. Well, I do that too.
Josh is a very late responder. And I'm in a bunch of group messages with Josh, and he'll just a day later, he'll respond to something from the previous morning, and I'm like, And everybody in the message all at once is like, dude, are you serious? Like, this is like...
I'm also, like, very anti-phone after, like, a certain hour. Like, 7 p.m. hits, I'm like, I don't really... where's my phone? Don't know.
Dude, well, this is going to bring me into my second pick. Let me go into my second pick. When I'm going to sleep, I fall asleep on my phone. So, like, I will be scrolling Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram until the moment that I physically pass out. And then I just, like, sometimes I'll wake up and the same TikTok will be playing from the previous night. And I'm like, oh, my God, how many times
you just gave that person, like, 50,000 views?
Yeah, it's insane. And it's so bad for me because now I can't go to sleep without my phone. I've created this, like, weird addiction that I have to be scrolling my phone as I'm sleeping, and it's horrendous. I'm down a bad path. And on the same level, it's like the TV also has to be on too. Like, I always have to fall asleep to the TV, some type of stimulant.
I'm a TV guy.
I need some stimulant to fall asleep.
But my phone is
really bad.
I rarely lay on my phone when I'm in bed, so.
I mean, Andrew, that just sounds horrible, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even know what to say about that one. I just feel bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad. I put myself in this situation and I can't get out. So whatever. Josh, you're second pick.
I can't get out. It's funny because there's so many to pick from. One of the things I've learned about myself is I'm the goddamn carb king. I just live for carbs, dude. I live for them.
You can't ever get on the carb-free diet?
Dude, I've tried so many times, and, like, I've worked out consistently over long periods of time, and, for me, it's just a good loaf of bread and a sandwich, man. I just can't go without.
I think bread is the only reason I'll never be able to go on a diet, because, like, every diet says, like, cut out bread and that stuff, and, like, I'm a big bread guy, so, like, I just have accepted physically that I'll never be able to do it.
Andrew, I'm going to be honest with you. A diet for you could look very different from a diet from a normal person. Like, a diet for you could be stop drinking 5 fucking Pepsis a day. I mean, that's one diet. Another diet could be stop eating fucking fried mozzarella sticks 5 times a week from Chops. I mean, that's another diet. I mean, you could literally eat as much bread as you want, but just have chicken breast and vegetable in those meals, and you would probably be like 2 pounds less than you are right now. So you're just a weird specimen,
I am, but it's okay.
Because, like, what do you have? What do you think you have to lose? What do you weigh? 145 soaking wet?
143, 145. I'm trying to get down to 130, but that's
okay.
130.
Let me just be the size of an 8-year-old boy, like,
but shredded. If I get to 130,
a shredded 8-year-old boy.
If you were a shredded 8-year-old boy, you'd just look weird. Why don't you just put on some weight that's healthy weight? That's what I think he needs to do. But
yeah, pish posh.
Okay,
Will, your third pick.
All right. I have a problem. Well, I wouldn't say this is a problem. It's kind of a problem. But anytime, I'll preface this. I rarely go out and buy shampoo, conditioner, any of that stuff. I don't do that. So anytime I go to a hotel or Airbnb.
Oh, no way.
Their shampoo and conditioner comes home with me.
Oh my God, you little fucking shampoo thief.
And then I live on that shampoo until it's time to either go buy some finally, or I go on my next trip.
Oh my God.
And then I use that shampoo and conditioner and body wash.
That's one of the funnier things I've heard. I don't even know really what to say about it. That's a head scratcher. Am I wrong, Kaluch? That one.
That's wild, Will.
I love it because then if I get them from one hotel and then I go on another trip, I already have travel size bottles, so I don't have to worry about buying or packing travel size bottles.
I think you're trying to justify this right now, and you're never going to justify it to me.
I'm not the only one. That's all I'm fucking saying. I'm not the only one that does that.
I'm not the only one.
Don't put Will in a corner over this.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm putting you in the fucking corner.
Here's the thing about that, though, is the quality of those shampoos can't be good.
I actually think the shampoo at hotels is always amazing.
Yeah, I mean, unless you go to like a Motel 6, but like.
Yeah, I always like it. It always smells great.
I think that's insane. I think I get like medical grade conditioner that's recommended by 15,000+ reviews,
No.
Oh, see, I don't do that shit.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
I buy the shit that's on sale.
Well,
yes.
Good luck in a couple years.
Dude, I put so much product in my hair that it doesn't matter what I do to wash it. Like, I've destroyed it already. I've destroyed the naturalness of my hair. So
no one really sees my hair, so So I've always got a hat on.
I hairspray it. It's like, that's so bad for you. But whatever. I'll deal with it in a few years. All right, my last one. Picking nails. It's a bad one for me, and a bad one for a lot of people that I know, because you're just harming yourself when you're doing that. But it's like a weird habit that you just can't break, and so many people do it, and I think it's horrible.
I do a similar thing, except when I'm thinking, I don't realize it, but I pull my facial hairs out of my face.
I do that all the time where I like curl my beard.
Yeah, I'm just like picking at it, and then eventually it came out, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, that kind of falls into this too. Just like weird things you do to your body when you're just like bored or thinking or concentrating.
Yeah, it's like subconscious. Yeah,
it's horrible. I literally harm myself. It's in a good way. It's not in a
good way.
Not that way.
In a good way.
Let's move on, Joshua.
My final one. Dude, I'm having a brain fart right now. I just had it. Why does this fucking happen? You know what? That's it right there. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah. I have this problem where my brain, as I've gone through entrepreneurship and being entrepreneurial, where I'm so focused all the time on the next thing, or dealing with things at hand, whatever strategy, everything is going on in my mind 24/7. Sometimes I bail out of conversations unintentionally, and I'll look you in the eyes, I'm there, and then I'm not there. And it's something my father has done over my lifetime, and like, it's just not normal.
Well, I also just think you have ADHD, so that also could be a factor.
That could be factored in, but the ultimate truth is, like, if I'm looking at you, you start to do so much internal calculations in your mind when you get into this shit, and you're like at the helm trying to get financing and trying to put together product lines and advertising and marketing, and you're strategizing. You become so obsessed with it, because if you're not obsessed with it, it'll never work. Mm-hmm. And the reality is that you're always in your own head. So I could be sitting in a room and just not even be in that room because I'm living in my head.
Yeah.
So it's a pro and a con. I mean, the con there is that
you zone out
when I'm talking to Colucci and he has a detail he needs me to know, and I'm just like, looking up at the ceiling.
But there are some times where I'm not the best storyteller, so Josh will get like, he'll be like listening to me, and then the next thing I know, I see his eyes just staring through the back of my skull, and I'm like, he's tuned out. I could say anything I want right now, and it wouldn't register to him.
Yeah,
but
there's truth to that.
It is pretty funny. Yeah, so those are some terrible habits. Anybody else got any more they want to rattle off that maybe?
I got a quick one, and I think we can probably all agree to it. Money doesn't exist when you're at the airport.
I'm a huge proponent of this.
I'll be like, oh, cool, $18 grilled cheese, fire it right up.
Yeah.
Dude.
$22 tuna salad sandwich, that sounds great.
$7 bottle of water.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
$8 bag of M&Ms, dude.
Like, you're at the airport.
I doubt, yeah, when you're on the travel, when you're on the road, that's survival. You know?
Yeah.
That's how you look at it. You're just like, I'm surviving in this airport.
My $18 Coors Light is what I need for survival right now.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm out here surviving. I need myself a fucking Miller High Life, dude.
I swear to God, I find ways to spend money in the airport when I'm there. Like, I just find ways to do it.
You find ways to spend money.
You remember that time?
Anywhere.
Remember that time we were in the airport waiting to come back from Vegas, and I just bought $50 over-the-head Bluetooth headphones. I was like, dude, I'm gonna use these. Like,
I spent
all the
$120 on a charger.
Oh
it was the fast charger with the cord. I had to buy both. And it ended up being a $120
It's
bill.
$50 at Best Buy for the extended cord as well.
Yeah. No, in the airports, it's totally different.
Oh,
They charge a whole different rate. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I couldn't believe it. I was stunned. Oh, actually, no, I did there was like the cheapest version of wired-in headphones.
Which are still probably like.
So it was $120 for those two headphones.
I paid like $30 for wired headphones at the airport.
Yeah, they're like 50 or 60.
Still have them, but.
Yeah. That is a terrible habit. I'm just terrible with my money, so it doesn't matter what I do. We could talk about gambling. We could talk about fucking going to Marshalls.
All these unlimited subscriptions that just appear.
I mean, hey, if you're
donating to 74 charities,
if you're a subscription company somewhere out there in the United States and you want a client, I got one
you just
right
want
here
free
for you.
money, just sliding.
Free money right here.
The beginning of every month, I go and I just look at my debit card and I just like see it all come out, and I'm like, I don't. but I need that one, and I might go back to that one. I've been paying for Planet Fitness for like 2 years, and I think I've gone 3 times.
Planet Fitness built a model around you. Andrew.
Yeah,
they literally built.
He's not the only one.
Yeah,
I paid for it throughout college. There wasn't even a Planet Fitness near me.
It's like you tell yourself, like, you see it come out every month, and you're like, I'll get back in there this month.
Just
like,
$10.
No problem.
Just $10.
$10.
2 years later, like half a Gino went into your Planet Fitness membership that you never
needed that
used.
black card.
You also get hit with like a $40 member fee once a year too. So I'm like,
do you really?
Yeah, it's like fucked up what they're doing.
Just buy a pull-up bar, do some push-ups and pull-ups. You'll get in shape.
I might have to get an Excel sheet going of all the money I've spent on Planet Fitness, and I need to see it. To
cancel it.
To slap myself. It's
just chase Silent around the backyard.
It's a $50 cancellation.
Silent around the backyard.
But that's going to wrap it up for T-Box Talk episode 30. The boys are very excited. We've gone viral on TikTok. We're hopefully going to keep pumping out more content. Follow along, like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at T-Box Talk Pod. Follow us on TikTok, same thing, at T-Box Talk Pod. Follow OMADA Golf. New products right down the pipeline. I know we say it every week, but we are being serious. These things do take a long time, and we are right on the edge, and it is very exciting. So also hop on our email list for Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. Those are coming up at the end of the month, and holiday shopping. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for participating, boys, and have a wonderful weekend.
See ya.